All right, let's see if I'm at.
Hey everyone, Kim, you here? Okay. Hey Brian. Hey everyone, welcome to the Life Happens podcast. I am your host, Grace. Guys, today's topic is I won't say exciting, but it's kind of irritating because I'll tell you why once you'll see the video. Anyway, it's the title is "Look So Love: What Matters Most in a Relationship." As you guys know, the Life Happens podcast is a podcast where we take our spirituality and everyday practical things to make this beautiful balance that you see. Right? In a world where first impressions can make or break a connection, we often find ourselves wondering if appearances truly hold the key to lasting love. Is it the spark in someone's eyes or the depth of their soul that makes a relationship endure? What do you guys think? Can physical attraction alone sustain the test of time? Or does true love go beyond the surface? We'll also be diving into a Christian perspective, exploring how faith and biblical principles guide us in understanding true love. What does the Bible say about beauty? And how does God's word shape our views on relationships? So we'll reflect on scriptures and emphasize the importance of inner beauty, love, and character, right? Reminding us that in God's eyes, it's the heart that truly matters, right? But anyway, hi, Brian. We say hi to our guest first because we haven't had him on in a minute. And he keeps saying no, but today he said yes. So thank you for being on the
Thank you.
show. Hi, Kimberly.
Hello, hello. How was everyone's week?
Great.
Or
Good.
actually, how's everyone's month
Good.
been going? We haven't been on for a while.
Great.
No, we haven't. We haven't. I just got up from a nap not too long ago.
Oh, me too. Oh, yeah.
Girl,
Yeah.
I don't need to be taking naps. I'm struggling a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. I have a shirt that says, I love Jesus and naps. Yes, so true. So true for me. So true for me. Well, for me, my daughter is home from Mexico,
Oh, nice.
where she actually lives. So she's home until
Great,
the end
Jessica.
of August.
Okay.
And
Nice.
so it's really great to have her home. She is going back to Mexico for a whole nother year. So yeah, but it's great just to have her home in the house and to
Right.
talk about stuff and just be together, for all of us to be together. So that's really great. So we've
So,
really been enjoying her.
so I have a question. How often does she come home?
She comes home at least once a year.
Dang.
I know. I try to get to Mexico and visit her. But yeah, she tries to at least come home once. And she usually does not even stay this long, y'all, for real. I mean, sometimes she'll be like, I'm going to this place, but I'll stop in Dallas overnight. And then the next morning she's gone again. So
Really?
yeah, she does stuff like that. But, of course, we get to FaceTime her all the time and keep in contact with her that way. But it's so great to like physically, just have her here and
Right.
you know, so which is really great. But she feels like the Lord is not done with her yet when as far as her calling in Mexico. So
Oh, that's cool.
I love that.
Gotta commend mom on that because baby girl can hear Jesus, and that's because you laid a foundation. So good job to you, Kim.
I love that. Thank you. I never thought of it like that, but yeah.
Yes, girl, you laid the foundation, you and William. And so
Yep.
she knows when she needs to leave and how long she needs to stay. And that is a blessing. So good job to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so happy. So happy
And
for that.
yeah. And we
Yeah.
know Felicia is an empty nester. How are you enjoying that?
Loving it. Loving it. You talking to me, right?
Yes.
Yes, loving it. Me and my husband just celebrated last week 26 years of being married.
Congratulations.
We get happier each year because it means another kid is gone.
I know, right?
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, last week my son left. He's back at school. He's playing football right now, so he's enjoying that. And now
Good.
we're just literally one child, and that's soon to be gone. So starting off the school year, will be childless, no kids.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
you can do whatever you want to do in that house. Oh, yeah. I can't wait. I'm just saying.
That's not the plan, but yeah. I plan on turning one of my kids' room into a walk-in closet, so
I love
there's no
that.
coming back.
So, question: what if they want to come back home? Is that
Why?
What if they want to come back home? Just say this, like, Mom, I want to come back home.
They can come back. I got a room that I set up with twin beds. It's not gonna be comfortable, but they can
Oh,
always come back. Yeah. So
I
there'll
love
be bed.
that.
It'll be an extra bed, but it'll be a twin bed. They won't have the setup that they had, growing up with their own room, TV out. No, that's over.
dang. But that's
I
good.
love that. To let them know if they come back, just let you know this is temporary.
Right.
I love that.
Oh my gosh.
You can come back. Yeah. Everybody falls on a hard time, but don't get comfortable.
Yeah,
You come back. I always come back.
Ooh,
I like
Felicia,
that.
that's tough though. But it is tough though. But that's good too.
Well, it's motivating. If you're at home, and I've learned this from experience, and you have your TV, you have your Netflix, you have your bed, you have your own room, you're comfortable, it's hard to leave
That's
on mom
true.
and dad's dime.
Oh, so true.
That is very true.
When you don't pay no bills, and we see you going out and getting coffee, getting a new car, you just chilling.
Oh yeah. You're right. You're right.
I know. I was talking to my friend the other day, and she has a millennial child that just hit, I think, 30. And she was like, I don't know what to do. She comes in when she treats my house like a hotel,
Right.
and she doesn't respect me. So my younger kids look at her and how they treat me. So she was just like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, can't you make a list? Like, that's your home. That's your home. Your home should have peace. Your home should have this. And your child should respect you no matter how old they are. They should respect their mom and dad, especially when you have younger kids that are kind of looking up to that person and thinking, oh, okay, well, if you treat her like that, then I can treat her.
So I have a question, Kim.
Mm-hmm.
May I ask what's her nationality?
Who? My friend?
Yes, that's been mistreated by her children.
She's Hispanic.
Baby, okay.
That happens in all. You can't say that, because even now I see like some of my kids' friends, and they are African American, and they are living at home and have no intentions of leaving. But what I've learned too, a couple of things that I've learned, I don't allow my kids to pay me rent. I don't allow them to pay me electric bill, gas bill, water bill. Save your money and get yourself together. But it's still my house. It's still my rules, because people feel like when they pay bills, they have rights. You have no rights in my house. If I say you need to be in by 12, that's what it is. If you don't like it, get your own place, So we don't grant them rights or anything. No, you don't have no rights.
That's true though. When they start contributing, they think it's their house too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's your home, but you don't have rights, and you're not going to come in if
And
you're not
dictate
home
it.
by midnight, stay where you at. No,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to be in and out my house like that.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Yeah.
we continue. B. Jones, can you tell us what's been going on with you? Where you been?
yeah.
I'm all good, thanks.
You're so dry. What you been doing?
Waiting for you to start the subject.
Okay.
Oh, okay. He's like,
Oh.
get over that small talk. We're gonna talk about this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so before we get into it, you guys, I need to say this title again. Looks or love, what matters most in a relationship? I'm gonna be honest, this video pissed me off. And I'm about to play it so you can piss you all off too, but I'm sure you're sold already, right?
Yes, but let's show everybody else.
I have 3 of them up, and maybe we'll watch the other 2, but let's just see, okay?
Okay.
As my husband always tells me, he would have rather stayed single than marry me. How did me and my husband meet, oh my gosh, we met at church. You know, he has this very funny story that he tells. When he first saw me, he thought I was so ugly. Yeah, he thought I was so ugly. He literally said that he said to himself that I would rather be unalive than marry a woman that looks like that. And so what drew him to me was really my prayer. He saw me praying, and he said to himself, you know, God, although she looks like a toe, that's the kind of prayer that I want in a woman. And God told him, that is your wife. And he fought it for so long. He fought it for so long because he was like, there's no way that my wife can look that unattractive. But you know what? God won him over.
Girl, what do you say? She look like a toe. Did you say toad or toe?
Toe.
Oh.
Toe.
Oh,
She's pissing me off. Girl, bye. Hold on.
And this comment is exactly why a lot of you guys.
It's not it.
I'm sorry. Repeat.
Hey guys, it's Married Milka here. Let's talk about how God restored my marriage after infidelity. In 2018, after I had just given birth to our son, I found out that I was pregnant with our other child. Our husband, who was so disgusted with me at this point, decided that he no longer wanted to be married to me and told me that he's moving out. Mind you, I was pregnant, and so pregnancy made me a little emotional. And so when he told me that he wanted to move out, I started to cry, which I shouldn't have done. I should have just told him, let the Holy Spirit guide you. Anyways, for 9 months, my husband completely ghosted me. He did not talk to me. He did not see me. He moved out of our house. And 2 months later, I found out that he had a completely brand new girlfriend. On social media, I would see posts of my husband and his new girlfriend going on trips, going on dates, and truly living a good life. They seemed like they were having so much fun while I had to work, care for our first child, and also I was pregnant. During my husband abandoning me during my pregnancy, one of the things that I did is that I always prayed for him. I always asked the Holy Spirit to whisper my name in his ear so he could know that whenever he's ready, he has a family back at home. I was watching a sermon on YouTube one day, and the sermon was about the prodigal son, and it reminded me of my husband. You know what I mean? Like, he just wanted to leave and to go and experience the world. And as a good wife, when he was ready to come home, it was my responsibility to welcome him with open arms. And that's exactly what I did. Follow for part 2.
Girl, ooh, who would like to go first?
I actually would like to hear from Brian what his perspective is.
Ben said this has to be fake. It has to be fake. I agree. This is for likes. It has to be for likes. Because no way.
Let's just say that it is real. Let's say that she's not doing it for likes and relevancy and whatever. Here's one thing I know about God from reading the Bible for myself is that God won't match you up with anybody who's going to present hell to you every single day. And anybody who says the opposite, you believe in a God in the Bible that you don't read. So, and even in the matter of a Hosea, that's a whole different story. But that's almost like the only one where somebody can kind of go, well, what about Hosea marrying a prostitute? Well, that's another subject for another time. But God doesn't match you with anyone who's going to consistently bring you hell all the time. And what happens is we pick people and then add God into our mess that God didn't co-sign for. And then when things go bad and awry, then we scream out, oh God, oh God, oh God, help me. So
which doesn't mean that the Lord won't show up, though. You know what I'm saying?
No, but you can't. Well, true, but that's kind of like God. That your body is a temple, and if you smoke every day, then all of a sudden your doctor tells you that you've got lung cancer. Oh God, help me. That doesn't mean He's going to miraculously heal your lung cancer. You're the one who put that crap in your body over time with warning and warning and warning and warning. And if you've been smoking for 10 years. That doesn't mean God is obligated to be a genie at that point and then take those bad lungs and your lung cancer away. There's a consequence period of your actions, and that could be another 10 years. It could be 5. I don't know, But what I'm saying is that she saw God's not going to mix her with someone who's constantly insulting her. To call someone a toe, that is a big insult, right? To physically put your wife down, to emotionally badger her in that way, that is an insult. And her self-esteem, her self-love is so low that she's willing to put up with it and try to use the Bible as a caveat to defend the situation. And that's what most people do, and or most people in this type of situation, if it's real. So then from looking at the first video, it's easy to tell that he's not in love with her. He doesn't love her. He doesn't want her. He wants things that she does, maybe the security or whatever she cooks or something like that. But it's nothing that's going to hold true, of which in the second video, it doesn't. He cheats, he does this, he does that, he moves on, and then supposedly he comes back. And you said what?
You forgot to say he's a prodigal son. Okay, that's what she said.
Yeah, you know what? People use the Bible to defend their BS all day long, but that doesn't mean it's right. He comes back and she's all happy supposedly, and she's not. She can put that facade on, that makeup on all day and try to act like she's okay. She's not. And to defend that much BS, people cheat, or your husband cheating, your husband disrespecting, your husband putting you down on a constant basis, your husband leaving you, ghosting you. That is not of God. You have no clue what marriage is. You have no clue what the covering is. You have no clue what being a husband is. And you're just putting up with it, probably for the same reasons that you're defending it, right? She's defending the fact that her husband is disrespecting her physically. So when people do things like that, it's almost like someone, and I don't mean to call anyone this, but let's just say someone's always being put down because they're obese. Well, some people use that as a reverse shield, and they make fun of themselves before someone else can do it, right? Because they have a lack of self-love about themselves. They don't defend themselves. Their self-awareness isn't there, things like that. So that's what she's doing. She's just putting it out there so people can't make fun of her and saying, oh, well, this happened with the Lord and that happened with the Lord, and this is how I'm going to defend it. That's all she's doing, and it's backfired. It's not going to work. There's no way it's going to work. His actions completely show that it's not going to work. So if she says, he called me a toe one time, and then he called me a toe another time, then he called me ugly again, that's just a few times that she tells us. What is he doing at the house to totally disrespect her emotionally, spiritually, physically? And, she can claim baby all day, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, there are dudes out there that'll stick themselves in anything, right? So, yeah, she's basically in a bad situation. If she stays, it's not going to get any better. It's just going to get worse, and she's going to keep using God as a defense mechanism, and ultimately, an excuse. It's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse.
Ben says, why does she keep saying our husband? Did you hear that as well? In the beginning, the first video, she made reference to our husband. Who's our?
I don't know. She may be talking about, like, she may be using the audience like that. Like, our husband, maybe talking to her husband. I mean, to the audience like that. I'm not sure.
Whew. Everything you said was correct, especially that self-love piece, which is so important, because ain't nobody gonna call me a damn toe and think that that's okay. And anyway, before I give my thoughts, Kim or Felicia, who wants to go next?
Felicia, you can go.
I was gonna say you can go ahead and go. Yeah, I totally disagree with this concept that God is going to bring you a person in your life to hurt you mentally. You can tell hurt people. I'm sure he has issues, because there's no way in the world this man would have married this woman feeling the way that he feels, because we see unattractive people, not ugly, people that we're not attracted to all the time. But we would never put ourselves in a position to be with that person. I don't care how many, I go to church too. I don't care how many times I see you at church. If I'm not attracted to you, I'm just not attracted to you. It's not a bad thing. It's just I'm not attracted.
You ain't it.
Right. You're not the one for me. So
Mhm.
I think her self-esteem is not, her self-respect and self-esteem does not exist. She's probably been told this narrative that she's not beautiful time and time again, and she's just like Brian said, accepted it, and she's gonna beat everybody to the punch. Y'all not gonna say you're ugly and you got a husband, it's just excuse behind excuse that I'm hearing from her about her husband. It's like always an excuse. And then the fact that you say, oh, he's on vacation with this woman and they're having a good time. It's
Baby.
really like, this is, so you subject yourself to more abuse. That's a form of abuse by watching this. You're still invested in this. So it's complicated, but it's not complicated. It's like, why are you there? Because any man that tells me I look like a toe, he would never marry somebody that looks like me. You don't have to tell me that twice. You don't have to tell me that twice.
Right.
You don't have to tell me that twice. I'm good. Okay then. It's okay not to be everybody's cup of tea. Well, right. I'm in love with your prayer life. But guess what? My prayer life is not my bedroom life. It's not my outside life. It's a part of my life, right? But it's not my entire life.
Yeah, that's true.
And if that's the only part you love about me, I'll meet you at church. But as far as anything else, you don't know. So, and I think she looks like to be a little bit overweight. So I think that may have played a part in it as well. With not having that self-esteem. But you go ahead, Kim. Those are my thoughts.
Well, Kim, before you go, I have to ask this question. So, do you guys think that can physical attraction alone sustain a long-term relationship? No. I mean,
not even if you're beautiful.
Not if the facts.
No, it's because physical attraction doesn't have substance that's long lasting. It's just like a car. When you buy a new car, you are totally enamored with it. You clean it out, you do everything to it, but sooner or later, just like anything that's physical, it becomes common. And once it becomes common, I don't care how long you've had it or how much you've invested in it, you think about getting another car, right? So it could have been the best thing on the block when you bought it, but it could be a year later or 10 years later or 5, you go, well, I want a new car because there may not be anything wrong with mine, but it became common one day. So if there's nothing of substance that's attaching you to that car that you've built over time, then you're going to want a new one. You're going to buy a new one. So no, I don't care how fine she is or how handsome he is, sooner or later that physical will fade. And when it fades or when it becomes common, then if you don't have anything connected to that has intangible evolution, like someone's personality, how they communicate with you, all those intangibles, if they're not attached, then that's when relationships sour.
No, I agree. I agree because sometimes, but even women will use the fact that they cook, they clean, and that doesn't that shouldn't be the basis of your relationship. Like, oh, because you do this and do the, like you said, personality, connection, alignment. Prayer life matters too. All those things matter. Mm-hmm. I have to say this. I try to find a husband on social media. I want to see what this motherfucker looks like and who he is. Who is he?
You want to see if he's the shit, huh? I mean,
no, somebody like this. Like, I mean, really. Like, I'm mad at her, but I feel sorry for her at the same time. For someone to say that to you and you sitting there skinning and grinning about it and making it scriptural and spiritual, I would like to slap her across her face because, I mean, no, man. Anyway, Kim, I'm sorry.
That's okay. The question I kept asking myself is attraction important? Is it important? Yes. And I'm like, yes, attraction is important in the beginning. I do believe that. You have to be attracted to that person. If you find that person repulsive, you are not, turn off the lights, baby. I don't want to look at you. You know what I'm saying? like it's just, you won't want to look at that person. You wouldn't want to be around that person because you do not find that person appealing. you do not find that person appealing. When I was listening to Brian talk about, I'm gonna mess it up, Brian. I'm sorry. When Brian was talking about, about the people that were smoking and there's consequences to it, I kind of disagree with that a little bit because I don't know what the Lord would do in that, because the Lord can do whatever he wants. So if a person chooses to do that and then at the end of his life, or he's has cancer because he smoked, the Lord can come in and still heal him, I think. So I don't think the Lord is like bound by, oh, well, you made that choice, now live with it. I don't
So, Kim, I'd
think
like
that's
to.
the I don't think that's it. But when you were talking about
Mm-mm.
people in the Bible and you were talking, and the first thing that came to my mind was Jacob and how much Jacob loved Rachel, right?
Right.
Like she
I
was
thought about that too.
beautiful and he loved her at first sight. But then the father, he made her marry Leah. And Leah was not to his liking. It just
But he
nothing.
kept having babies, did he not?
Well, yeah, he kept
Yeah,
having
he did.
babies, but she was barren. But yeah, but she kept. I think the Lord did that for her because Leah felt unloved.
Right.
Leah felt like, okay, you don't love me. I'm having your sons. I'm having the 12 tribes of Israel. You know what I'm saying? I'm having all of them. But I still feel unloved because what you're doing, you're treating me just like a commodity. You know what I'm saying? And she felt like that. And she knew that that was her place. And she knew that. But anyway, when Brian brought that up, I thought, yeah, there is an example in the Bible of someone who is in love with a person because when they first saw him, they immediately, that attraction was there.
Now,
So,
But
now
then
we do have to take into effect those times too, because
this is
women weren't necessarily meant to be loved back
that's
then.
true.
It's
That's
not.
true.
It's not. I'm coming to you, and we've got this both sense of self love, and we've got no. You are handed to me by your father, and the number one thing that we're supposed to do is have babies. You're supposed to give me sons, and that helps with a lot of stuff, including with the army. So it's not one of those things where we can put our recent contemporary way of doing things to apply back then. That wasn't the case. I mean, you're talking like I could go to
Well,
to Joseph and
For Jacob, though, it was the case, right? I mean, he loved Rachel. He was in
yeah,
love with her. And
but
yeah,
Leah,
but
he was
hold
not.
on, hold on.
well, true, but that doesn't mean like well, back then, custom. Even if you loved someone, once you're married to someone, it's that's what it is. You're having babies, and it doesn't necessarily matter if I quote unquote love you. My
No,
duty to
no,
you
no.
as
I
a
get that. To
yeah,
have
yeah.
children.
Yeah,
And
my duty is
right.
to have children. So, and that's at, mind you, we're talking about people. Mary, who married Joseph, she was 13, 14 years old. We're talking, these are very young girls. As soon as they bleed, a lot of them get married because what's your number one thing to do in the Bible back then? Have babies, cook, have babies, clean. That's it. So men necessarily didn't have to love the wife. It was just their duty. They got together, boom, had kids.
That's so
Well,
sad though. I like romance. But anyway, but
what
Yeah, there's not too much romance back then. I mean, it's not a lot.
what about
you
arranged
said,
marriages?
well,
Happens
arrangement,
all the arranged marriage is the same thing.
it's a business transaction, really. If you think
It,
about Indian culture, it's about families coming together, combining finances, businesses, all those things. And I think it was the same thing back then. It was to create this huge lineage, right? And that's why they,
Solomon.
right,
Solomon had nothing but business transactions.
right.
That's it. Every one of his marriages were not because, oh, I want another woman to love or I want to have another woman to have sex with. No, it was the king of Syria had a daughter and I need to marry her because he will give me 50% off of the spices I need to make a certain food for the army.
Right.
I'm
Hmm.
not marrying her because I love her or I think she's fine. I'm marrying her because this is going to give me a huge tax break. And if he ever undoes this treaty, then I'm going to kill his daughter. That's arranged marriages. That's what happens. I mean, there's no such thing as, well, I'm going to give you my daughter and then I'm going to go back on my word and you're going to give me my daughter back. No, I'm going to kill your daughter. That's why she's here. Now, babies and other things like that. But Arranged marriages are more than anything business transactions, and that could be Hebrew culture, that's Roman culture, that's Japanese culture. When we're talking about back then, historically, they're business transactions.
Okay, guys, can we talk about when the husband cheated on her and then he left, please? And
That's
then
crazy.
she went to talk to her mama, and her mama said, "Let's stay in our face and fast." I'm just ad-libbing. The mama said, let's stay in our face and fast, baby, because he gonna come back. Let him be with Suzanne for now, but he gonna what? Eh?
Yeah, I didn't
And
understand
then
that
she gonna
thinking.
use the
He
part-
learned it from somewhere. Like the woman she's
She
talking
had
about,
to.
his mother was like, let's pray. That dysfunction started early in his childhood because if his
Definitely.
mom thinks that his behavior is okay and the
Mhm.
way he's behaving is okay, there was some dysfunction early on in his childhood. He's witnessed to, which in fact I guess got him thinking that he could marry this woman and do what he wanted to do. I have no idea. I don't know the backstory. But for a man's mother to say, "Oh yeah, I'm coming back and I'm telling you all the stuff he's doing," like, where they do that at?
In 2024, really?
Why are you telling me about the girl he's with? Why are you telling me to steadfast? He on vacation with somebody happy. I'm
Oh
here
In
with
the
these
Bahamas,
kids. I'm
baby.
working hard, and you telling me about how
Jesus.
happy he is and stay fast and keep praying. No, that ain't
No,
the God I serve.
listen, I think mama's a little bit messy too, though. What the
no, I think so too. She has to
What are
be.
you telling me this shit for? Okay, but I want to say something. I forgot to add. You were saying, Felicia, that it was about attraction. I dated somebody that I was not attracted to, and I stayed with them because they were safe. But I was not physically attracted to them. It's possible.
But you're not with them.
Sure not.
Okay, so let's stop. Let's not even go there. You're not with them,
Sure
and
not.
you and you're not with them for a big reason, for multiple reasons. But one of them is that you're not physically attracted to them.
I dated somebody I was not physically attracted to, and I couldn't do it. I said, he's just too damn ugly. I just cannot do this.
I know.
And I tried. He had a wonderful personality. Everything about him. He had a great job. He had all the yes, but the attractiveness is not there. I did not want him to touch me. I did not want him to kiss me. I did not want him to put hands on me. So
don't even put your pinky on me. Don't
sit too close to me. We're in the car. You too close. It's
Yeah, you get pissed off way faster.
There was a guy that liked me, and if there was he was the nicest person though, y'all, and wanted to do everything, and I was just like, but I couldn't do it though. I couldn't string him along. I wasn't that type of person, huh?
How did you break it off? How did you break it off with the guy you weren't attracted to?
Oh, I just told him. I said, I'm not ready to date. I really don't want to date anyone right now. Just trying to figure some things out. He was like, okay, yeah, I get it. That was it.
That's messed up.
Why? I literally was like, he asked me out. I went out, and I'm just looking at him thinking, this is not my life. This is not my life.
You know what?
I have dated a guy that most women, and see, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Right. I dated this guy that most women would not deem as attractive, but I was attracted to him. I don't know what it was. He was not a gorgeous guy. So I don't think that the qualifications is that you be gorgeous. I think the qualifications that you be attractive to that person.
Yeah, that's it.
You only have to be attracted to one person. Right. I was telling a girl this today because she told me, she's an African-American girl, and she told me black guys don't like me because I'm chubby and they don't like me. I said, no, honey, that's not it. You have no self-confidence. That's what they don't like. Because when you walk in a room, they can sense all of that on you. That's the reason why. I think dudes can sense if a woman has confidence or not, and if a woman has low self-esteem. And Brian, you can let me know. So that guy, when he saw her and he thinks that she looked like a toe and she wasn't attractive, and he said to himself, because apparently he's going around telling the story, she said, my husband always tells this story to people.
And that's another thing. Why are you telling people this fucking story?
because
think,
she's
I think,
miserable. She needs relevancy. She needs
and
someone to co-sign for her bull crap behavior. You're not gonna
no,
just sit it.
she
He's
said her
going to dinner.
husband tells the story. That's her
Exactly.
husband tells the story.
Maybe because he's so
Oh,
embarrassed.
Right.
but you, I mean, I thought she was telling people too. If I'm sorry
Oh,
if I'm mistaken on
no,
that.
her
Oh.
husband. So Brian, you let me know. Do men see women and they think you have no self-confidence, you're not really my type, and you're a pushover? Yes, I know I
But I
can
thought
get
that
that.
like people, I thought that some men will prey on women that have no low self-esteem.
No, that's
That's true,
100%
right?
correct. If I, from my experience being a man and seeing what men do, if a woman has low self-esteem, she's prey. It's not like, oh, I'm going to build her up and I'm going to show it. No, she's prey. And it's the same thing in this example. He was never with her to marry her for good and all that stuff. He married her to prey on her. And then when he got done preying on her, he went to someone else. And when that situation didn't work, or it could work, and his wife is just a side chick, basically. I mean, it's she's prey, and most of the time when a woman is not confident, or because what they do is, and this is people, but since we're talking about women at this point, women overcompensate at that point. If they feel like if they don't have a lot of confidence, they overcompensate in other ways by giving, things like that, catering,
By
and then the
praying
man
for somebody.
yeah, and the man just goes, oh, okay, well, I'm getting all this, and I'm getting away with that. So, you teach people how to treat you. So once you allow me to take from you and not give to you, and I still be able to do all this stuff on the side, well, I'm going to continue to do it.
People, not just
I
men,
like that.
but
You
women
treat people
too,
on how to treat you. Go ahead.
will take and take and take as long as you give.
Hmm.
People are like that in general. If you're
Yep.
gonna give it, they're gonna take it. Like,
Yeah.
you can look like she said, you can look like a toe, but if you willing to work hard and
Girl,
pay all these bills, okay, she gonna
Yeah.
pay the bills, she gonna take care of the kids, she gonna cook and clean. I don't have to do nothing, and
Yep.
then they'll take it.
I mean, he was able. He called me that unattractive. He was able to have relations with her. I mean, I know sex is different for men.
Because dudes will stick themselves in anything. Listen. I know some women who are considered by the general not to be attractive, who have 3, 4 kids,
Mhm.
right? And by men who say that they would never, ever, I'm not gonna say every man, but there's a lot of men who will take at least one to their grave. And what I mean by that is that there's every man that's got, well, not me, but I'm just saying there's a lot of men out here who have stuck something that they will never tell anybody about because of how unattractive that woman is. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if she got pregnant. He's able to get up for it at that time and be like, hey, oh well, let me stick you right quick and move on. But
Yeah.
like
Okay.
you gotta, she's gotta set boundaries because the manipulators don't have any.
That's the basis of the shows, Maury Povich and all those
Right.
shows.
Oh yeah, you're
You
right.
see these,
Yeah.
you be like,
You are
okay.
not the father. Jesus.
yeah, these dudes is like, I'm not this baby daddy. Look at this baby. It's, she, but this girl has all the, and then it's crazy that the girl may not, what I would say society calls as attractive, may not look society attractive, but then she's getting 4 and 5 men tested.
That's true. Though.
Yeah,
That's true.
I agree 100% with what Brian is saying.
No, because she allowed him to have unprotected sex with her because, again,
Yeah.
self-esteem issues. So you're like, okay, he must really like me. No, he doesn't.
No.
But
They
what
call
about
it
her?
every man, Brian. We used to call it, laugh at guys like, you have a monster smash somewhere that some girl out there.
Yeah.
Not a monster smash. What?
You're gonna take it to the grave.
A
You're gonna take it to the grave.
smash. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how about her waiting at home? She's waiting for him to come back. She is
Because she's a
preparing
dumbass.
and waiting.
Her desperate
Like a prodigal.
really shows.
She's expecting her prodigal to return home. Baby, that's not your
And then
son.
using this is what makes me
Yes,
mad.
I was like, what?
You're using scripture as an excuse. It's like most people I know that do that. Like the Lord will tell them to write a book, and you're like, well, I'm waiting for God to show me exactly. It's the same thing to me. Like you waiting for this Negro to come back home while he's out there with Suzanne, like just screwing Suzanne with no protection, and then coming home to not even talking about the physical disease, but the spiritual stuff that comes with it. I mean, since you're so scriptural and spiritual, you never said that, sis, did you? You were just waiting for this Negro to come back that fucked whoever out here. And who's to know that Suzanne wasn't the only person? Since I look like a toe.
But and that goes back to she is sitting there saying this, but in the Bible, fornication is a big deal. Like,
right?
You can leave. You know, at that point, you've done your due diligence. You know, he's sleeping with another woman. He's on vacation with another woman.
Right.
How much proof do you need? Like,
yeah, you can move on, sister.
Over, you know?
You are welcome to move on.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Right.
Right.
Moving nowhere. Because even a pastor's probably telling her that too.
Yeah, because that's no longer your husband, honey. Move on.
It was never.
No. But did you notice she said that she prayed this prayer in this YouTube video, and the husband said a voice told him to come home?
Yeah, she said whisper in his ear. Let me tell you something.
Whispering my name. Whispering his ear my name. She said whisper in his ear my name. My name.
The stuff I want God to
hold on. Isn't that witchcraft though? Isn't that witchcraft, Kim?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
That is witchcraft. So
whisper my name.
Oh, just that she's lying. She ain't got to cast no spells to lie. She's just lying and trying to use them. I know people who are in the most toxic relationships, and they posted on social media that they're toxic. They have posted physical fights. They've posted emotional fights. They've posted. Well, there's one that a woman was out at a lake, and her and her man were having an argument through the phone, and he came and rammed his truck into her, saying, "Hey, I don't want you to go anywhere, and we're gonna work this out." Like, I'm talking about some real toxic stuff, but let them tell it. They'll post a scripture talking about, yeah, we've been together for 5, 6, 7 years, and the Lord has brought us through. You know, we shall reap a harvest if we faint not. Like, you can pick any scripture to defend your BS, and that's what people do. People think that I'm gonna do what I want to do anyway, and then I'm gonna do this God genie lamp thing, and I'm gonna pick a scripture that cosigns with my BS, and that's not how God works. God just ends up there going, what you want me to do? I'm not finna like, no, I'm not finna get involved with that. You picked him.
Look at CJ talking about Susanna there.
She said, we're not gonna play with you.
CJ. Maybe so. Maybe it had teeth. I don't know. I mean,
that would hurt.
That don't sound.
I mean, what else did she say?
Well, it wasn't love. You know, that's not love. Love doesn't
You think
hurt.
she's in love though?
I think she is.
I think she's desperate.
Yeah.
No, I think she loves him. I do.
No, she's desperate. I think she would love anybody that would love her, or that would pay her attention. They would give her attention. My bad. Yeah, let me change that. I think if that's real, if that situation is real, she has persuaded herself that, hey, I'm going to beat people to the punch and calling me ugly and calling me fat and all that type of stuff. And if anybody shows me any type of attention, because I've always been lonely and I don't want to be lonely anymore, that I'm just going to roll with it and then try to make this whole thing into a God thing, and, you know, try to prove to people that it's more than my own stupidity, because she sounds stupid. Like, and you don't want to admit. A lot of people don't want to admit when they make mistakes. And a lot of people stay in bad situations because they don't want to admit to the people who told them never to get in it that they were right. So it's a conglomeration of stuff we can probably get into, but ultimately she's just desperate, and she's like, somebody likes me, somebody had sex with me, somebody I can call husband, and
the
I'm just
same
gonna
woman
wait on him.
look like a
So,
toe. Shit.
so
Yeah.
when we come to
Because
that,
love, I mean, define
Keeping
love.
it grounded.
You know, you saying was she in love? Define love.
Yeah, well.
I can. I mean, love is a selfless thing. It whether it be agape or anything else,
I think she
any
loves.
other version of
I
love.
do. I think she
Well,
loves
it's
him.
definitely not First Corinthians
think-
13 love at all. Especially his part. I don't know what she's thinking. I mean,
I
since
think
she's a Christian, where's First Corinthians 13?
I think she loves him, but I think that her hard thing is going to be because she is waiting for him to come home. So she has a part 2. So I'm assuming that he does come home.
So are you saying
But-
her that she loves him with her mind or her heart?
She
I'm
loves him
saying
because God told her.
She loves
I mean, it
him
was-
however she perceives love to be, is that's how she loves him. And however she perceives love, she loves him, I think. Because
Yeah,
my love,
because
because your love would be different than how you view love. People view love differently, and it's on different levels. I was telling my daughter this. Love it ranges. It's different. The way I love my husband is going to be different than the way you love your husband. It's just going to be
yeah,
different
those are
because-
languages. Those are languages, though. But love has a commonality. It definitely has a commonality. It definitely has a general meaning of what to do and what not to do. But people, like the Bible says, don't lean on your heart. Who said that? Your heart will deceive you. Like, no, we're not. People say, well, I follow your heart and go with the love of your heart. No, that's a
But I
lie.
think that however she loves, though, whatever her idea of love is, I believe that she does love him. But
I think she loves being with somebody and not being alone.
But
I
here's the
think-
thing, Kim.
Because your self love, and the way you love internally and the way you love externally go hand in hand.
I was about to
Right?
say that.
So if I was in a relationship with a woman and I mistreated her and she did nothing to me, then that's a reflection on me, not her. Right? Now, if she's allowing me to do it, but if I'm sitting up here talking trash to my wife, disrespecting her, that is a reflection on me and what I think about myself, my own insecurities that I'm projecting on her. So since she has zero self-love, she's allowing herself to be treated any type of way because the love for herself would coincide with her decisions on who to love. And since she's, I guess, loving someone that's mistreating her, she would never be in that situation if she had any type of self-love. So I think she's using any type of...
So what
Go
you're
ahead.
saying is a person who does not have self-love cannot love. Is that what
No.
you're saying?
No. A person who doesn't have self-love cannot be disrespected the way she's being disrespected. And
But I'm asking,
therefore,
but can
you
she
can't...
love, though? But
No.
She can love, but she can't love anybody that's disrespecting her like that.
Why
Can
not?
I
It's
just say-
impossible.
You
It's
can-
impossible.
I think it's possible. I think it's
No.
possible.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
You cannot give
It's impossible.
No, it's
anything you haven't
possible.
given yourself first. So how can she say she loves him when she don't even love herself? Because it starts with you. You have to love yourself enough to not choose
And then
That's bullshit.
So a person, so I don't understand, because you're saying that a person that does not have self-love cannot love a person that's treating you a certain way.
That's not love.
true. That's
Yes,
not that you can't.
Yes, you
No, you
can.
can't.
Yes, you
No, you
can.
can't.
Yes,
I
you
don't
can.
agree with
I
that.
think
Because
That's a
if
whole basis. That's a
she's
freaking
talking
That's
about,
the whole
but she's
freaking
talking
basis
about
of
God.
Christianity.
No.
That's the whole
She's
freaking basis of Christianity.
what's that?
Loving someone who treats you bad. Love someone. Love
That's
them.
agape. That is agape
Love
love.
them.
I can have agape love for a white racist. I can have agape love for a white racist. I can love them as a person. I cannot love a person like the erotic side, the marriage side. I cannot love a person who is disrespecting me on a regular basis
Okay, then
if
maybe
I don't have if I have self-love myself. The body doesn't work like that. It is The body is designed to protect itself at all times. So if I have self-love for myself, I have boundaries. I have things that are set in me that you're not going to be able to do. You can't just go cheat on me and call me ugly and then come back to me and be like, well, because I love you, I'm going to allow you to do that. No, my self-love doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like
Well,
that.
maybe her love is agape love then.
No, go. This
But
woman.
that,
Brian just said agape love,
I
so
don't.
maybe that's
I
her
don't agree
love.
with that. No.
I honestly think she's in love with the idea.
Yeah.
Of love.
yeah,
Yes.
desperate.
She's in love with the idea of having a husband. She's in love with the idea of having a family. She is in love. I think there is. I do agree with Kim on some aspects that she is in love, but the source of what she loves is not. It's like, I wouldn't say impossible, but it's not the in love. It's in love with the idea of love, the idea of being married, the idea of having a family. Because
Maybe,
go
okay,
ahead.
maybe her love is distorted, but it's still love,
Yeah.
right?
Kim.
Can that be true? Can that be a true statement?
I don't.
No.
I love you, sis. I do. I love you for real. Okay. I love you. Okay. But like I said, you can't give anybody anything you haven't given yourself first. And I know that because I'm thinking of my journey, right? Of stuff that I have been in, chosen to do, have to relearn. Until I gave myself those things, I was not ready to be in a relationship. I couldn't. It was impossible, because what would happen was that I would get lost in a man. I would get what I would do is, like in my marriage, I would do the same shit. So no, this woman, like Felicia said, it's the idea of love.
But it may also, like, I think you just made a key word too. Like the in love with the idea, but she's just lusting for all of that. Like she's yearning. She's trying to feed her flesh with somebody's around me, somebody's having sex with me, somebody is there physically. Like, and I don't want to do this alone. I don't want to do this. I don't want to have to start over. I don't want to have to see if anybody likes me anymore, or anybody thinks I'm pretty, or anybody. It doesn't. Like I say, there's a lot of reasons we could assume, but yeah, you. First of all, she's talking about God so much. There's no way she could think that this man is in love with her. Period. There's no way that he could be. And to even try to wrap your brain and persuade yourself that he is, that is you're so torn on the inside. It's pitiful, right? And then to think that God is ordaining this heinous situation, and his acts would even take it even further. She's persuaded that this is all God driven, and it's not.
She used my Jesus.
It's not. So she's already on the cuckoo boat when it comes to when it comes to this whole situation. She brought God into it. It's like, yeah, God's putting his hand and manifesting all this. No, he ain't.
No, he set people up.
There's no evidence of it.
People don't say anything because you said God said. Who am I to argue if you say God said? Girls, shut up. God didn't tell you that.
People use God as a genie too much.
Because God does not want his daughter to be abused. There's no way.
Yeah, there's no evidence. There's no evidence.
God wants that, right?
No, when I was going through divorce, my church folks told me that I should not get divorced because God hates divorce. Yes, God hates divorce, but God didn't want me to be abused. And what they didn't know was that when it was time to leave, I heard in my left ear, now is the time. That's why I left. So, but I left the abusive situation. I don't stand and say, "Oh my gosh," because God hates divorce, so I'm gonna stay there and be abused. What is that?
It's either Matthew 17 or Matthew 18, where God said, "Yeah, you can get out, especially if he cheats. If there's infidelity, you're free to go."
No, I think she should leave. No, I don't think she should be waiting. I think she needs to move on with her life, and I don't think she should be pining for him and putting her kids through that. I know she's pregnant, and she's, like she said, she's very emotional, which I didn't understand that.
No, she was pregnant.
No, and look at the ramifications.
She's pregnant, right?
No, she had the baby already.
And he has no shame. Like he's on
No.
social media with this woman. He has no shame. Like
At
Yeah,
all.
yeah. Your wife is, yeah.
And he's back with, and I bet you shouldn't even make him pay when he came back. Shouldn't even make his life hard. She was just like, come on, Cletus, come home.
that's
Come on,
desperate. I mean,
yeah.
and men can
it-
sense that too. That desperate. I mean, how desperate
but I
do
think
you
that
have to be? You
But
know, it's like
I think that's going to be the hard part for her. Is Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the easy part for her. Is that when he does come back home, because it seems like she's doing a part two that he came home, and I think that's where it's really going to be hard because you did cheat on me, because you did leave me, because of all these things that happen. I think that's going to be the hard part. I've seen it happen with my friend. Even though her husband cheated on her, she took her husband back, but that's when the real work and how hard it really was on them. You
Did
know
she
what I'm
use
saying?
her? Did she use her F for free card?
Did she use her what?
F for free.
Did she use her I can cheat for free card?
Do you
Oh
think?
no, I don't think so.
I
Oh,
No.
don't think.
okay.
I don't think she's the type of woman to do that.
Yeah,
No,
no.
she no, the woman in this thing she's not the type of person to do that.
No, but I think
Uh,
she's just gonna I think it's just gonna be the hard part when he comes back home. So I'd really like to see how that plays out because yeah, because it can
But
be like, hey, I'm leaving you again in 6 months, or I'm leaving you again in another year. When does the cycle break? When does it stop?
it
When does
doesn't.
it,
No consistency.
but
It
how
you
doesn't.
how
know?
how how do you then what's his next level of okay, I did this bad enough to where you don't take me back. Like this
You're
dude
right,
hadn't been
yeah.
just started all this. He's been cheating on her. If this story's real, he's been cheating on her. He just didn't wake up and be like, well, after all these years of calling you ugly and basically disrespecting you as a friend, well then I'm just gonna marry you now and then treat you nice until I decide to leave again. No, he's been doing all this. So she's been going through the infidelity and the cheating. He's been talking to other women. He's been abusing her in every facet. He's been doing all this. So when he comes back, she's used to it. It's just according to if she's going to continue to put up with it or not.
I know,
And
yeah,
odds
that's what
are she is.
I met a couple, they've been married for over 30 years, right? And he calls her big head and he calls her names and she laughs and he laughs. And I
Does he talk about
said,
her forehead, Kim?
I don't think that's funny. And he was like, oh, she loves it. She thinks it's funny. And I looked at her like, you gonna like straighten your man. I tell him that's not funny. I know you've been married a long time, but and she's like, yeah, I just ignore him. And I thought I would never let a man talk to me like that. And you've been married for 30 years and he calls her names and stuff. And
Now,
then
Yeah.
laughs, and she laughs too. Like
but
it's
if
a
you both
joke.
agree with it, I mean, you really can't say anything, Kim. That wasn't even your place to say something, sis.
It was because that was my friend. I could say something to
Not in
him.
front of Kim.
She said I can say something. I get my cousin.
Hold on. We need to read this comment. CJ says, Kim, I agree with you, man. I don't care what the convo is.
I
He
mean,
says, he definitely needs to get her get back.
Mm.
I agree with Kim. I don't care what they're talking about. We love Kim over here. Boy, bye. That's like, bye. No. Don't. Mm-mm. But Kim, it sounds like he's been doing it, your friend and him. And
they have in their relationship, but I was uncomfortable with it at the time. So I said something. And when he said, oh, she don't care, and she laughed too, I didn't say nothing else after that.
oh, yeah, you
Hey,
did.
hey, just like age isn't a prerequisite for maturity, longevity isn't a prerequisite for happiness.
I know.
There's a
Come
whole
on
bunch
now.
of people
Preach,
who
brother.
married
Preach.
30,
Come
40, and
on.
50 years that don't like each other and they just stay together for various reasons that
Come on.
if
Preach
they
it.
were to tell it, they sound stupid and they should have left a long time ago. But that's another thing.
Preach it,
Yep.
Brian. Preach it.
Yep.
But is
But
attraction an illusion made up by Hollywood? I mean, I
no,
think
No, no, no.
people have been
I
attracted to other people since the Bible days. I mean, where do you think the word beautiful and hair like this, and so that's been attracted to people. And everybody's attraction is different. One man may say, "Oh, this woman is so unattractive," and the other man be like, "She's beautiful." So beauty is really in the eye of the beholder.
And plus,
So
to Felicia's point, like, so you bring up Hollywood. Like, there are a lot of people who think that they have to look a certain way in order to be found attractive because of what Hollywood and the powers that be say. The problem with that is, and especially I'm giving away a little man code here, and I don't care because this is stupid anyway. But a woman who says, "I want to look like old girl on Instagram because old girl gets a whole bunch of hits," the same man that's clicking a like on that one is the same man that's clicking a like on another one that doesn't even look anything like her. So it's not like women need to understand that it doesn't matter what you look. There are a range that man is clicking on more than one body type, more than one skin tone. And like I said earlier, there are women who I know that society would say that they're totally unattractive, who have multiple kids, right? Like who are even married to someone who found them attractive. So yeah, like, don't worry about what other people think or the way other people look. Like all these BBLs and this bull crap, man. Be you, man. Dang, I'm attracted to genuine. Like, yeah, you got to be attractive, cool, yeah, but don't be faking the funk and all this crap just to be somebody that you're not. Because I know there are women who I would think are physically a 7 out of 10, but because of their personality and how genuine they are, they're a 10 out of 10. They beat the physically attractive dime whose character is bull crap. Like if I know that your character is BS and you may be considered a dime to society, you're a 2 to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's unattractive.
Yeah,
Jada Pinkett is a 0, and she would be considered fine. Jada Pinkett, I would not. She could be like, B. Jones, I want you right now. No, you can get your toxic somewhere else.
But my husband tells me about one of his friends. I know him. Likes women with big arms. He likes it when it wiggles. He just thinks that's the most attractive thing, and it's like sounds weird to me, but that's what he likes.
That's what he likes.
There is no recipe.
Yo.
There is no recipe.
I forgot. Yo, I'm listening. It's 8:01, guys. It's that happy time. Okay, so let's I guess final thoughts.
I'll go first. Final thoughts. Darling, and I'm talking to the woman on the video. When he comes back, when he comes home, you need to pack his clothes and tell him to get out.
Get the out.
Because when he comes back to you, he probably don't got nowhere to go. The other woman done kicked him out. So you need to do the exact same thing and say bye-bye. Bye-bye. It's time.
Bye, bitch.
Bye-bye. All right. That's my final. Love yourself, right? Okay.
Yeah. But the most important thing is to work on yourself, love yourself, and all that will fall into place. You won't you won't put up with that anymore. So start loving. Find a way to heal yourself internally.
Yeah.
B. Jones?
Self-love is the best love.
As he's rocking to some internal.
Don't be like old girl in the video.
I know. I agree with everything you guys said. And stop using Jesus as an excuse, please, to say that God told you and he didn't tell you nothing.
Yeah, he didn't tell you nothing.
Stop it. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us this week. B. Jones, thank you for being on. We enjoyed having you, and we hope to see you soon. Anyway, stay in Facebook land, wherever you are. Bye. See you all next week.
Bye.